everyone, and welcome back to Cerebral Palsy 101. I recently had children ask me a really good question, so I wanted to answer because my rule is there are really no bad questions when it comes to disability or cerebral palsy as a whole, especially when we're talking to a younger generation who may not have somebody with a disability in their life, or maybe they've never seen somebody out in public and they do, and you want your child to understand what it's really like and how to interact with the community, because at the end of the day, we will all become disabled in some capacity in some time in our life. So today I wanted to take a minute and talk about what it's really like living with cerebral palsy and validate middle children's questions, because as a parent I understand that can be terrifying or hard for you to do, especially if you've never been around someone with the disability they have about. So welcome to Cerebral Palsy, as I answered. So here are a very brief introduction of some questions that I will be answering. There is more, but I did not write them all here. There was a ton of good informational questions. But why do I use a wheelchair? Can you walk? Why is it hard for you to talk? And do you need help in the bathroom? Yes, we will be talking about that too, because like I said, there is truly no question a bad question, especially when we're helping younger brain develop. But to understand all these questions, we need to answer the question of what is cerebral palsy and how did you live it, and does the mother live it to you during birth? So let me away, please, and draw you a cute little diagram. So the first question I would ask is, what is cerebral palsy? Why does someone live it? And how does it affect you? Well, cerebral palsy has not only happened by one thing or by one incident. Cerebral palsy can happen for multiple reasons. But what is cerebral palsy really? Cerebral palsy in simple terms is an injury to someone's brain that impacts how you can move, how you can talk, and how your brain interacts with your body. As you can see here, I have a brain and a pretty little picture of someone saying that the brain controls everything you do. The brain can control your movement, your talking, the way you sit, the way you eat, the way you drink, and pretty much all aspects of your life. The brain is your central control hub for understanding everything that goes on in your body. However, sometimes during pregnancy, something can happen. Sometimes you get a brain bleed. Sometimes you have a stroke. Sometimes something is wrapped around you in the room, and all those things are not something your mommy meant to do. They are simply an accident. So your mom didn't mean to make you cerebral palsy. It just kind of happened. And depending on where the injury happened, is how you are affected. So for me, my injury affected my right side of my body. So my right side is dramatically different from my left side. So with that being said, I have trouble moving my right arm. I don't have very much muscle in the right side of my body. It also impacts the way I talk and the way I move. So that is what cerebral palsy is. And like I said, it happens for many different reasons during or after pregnancy, depending on what your injury is. And your parents never really mean to, they never mean to give it to you or for the injury to happen. It's kind of like if your mommy or daddy were in a car accident, they don't mean to hit the person. They kind of accidentally do something because maybe something accidentally happened on the road. So it's very important to remember that cerebral palsy is an accident that happened at birth or at a very young age, and not something your mom ever did to hurt you. So with that being said, you cannot let cerebral palsy from someone like you would let a cold. It is not contained. It's something that happens at a very young age due to an injury, not something you would have if someone hit or fall on you at home. So if you're hanging with someone with cerebral palsy, the only thing you can have is a good attitude and a good vibe. The next question is, how does the doctor figure out you have cerebral palsy? Well, there are multiple ways that a doctor can figure out. Like how you go to the doctor when you're ill and sick with a cold. They might run tests like a flu test or a COVID test or a respiratory test. They too can run tests to figure out what might be going on with you. But some people with cerebral palsy don't develop like the normal people, like an able-bodied person would. We might have trouble moving, hitting, holding, walking, and muscle movements. And when a parent notices that their child might not be meeting the milestones, that is completely okay. But it might be an alarm bell in a parent's head to take you to the doctor to make sure you're not sick. So when a mommy or daddy realizes that something is wrong, their immediate instinct is to take their child to a doctor. And when they take you into the doctor might be able to notice that you are not meeting the milestone like you should, and that's okay. And they can do different tests to help your parents understand what is happening. And it's important to remember every person who has cerebral palsy, their story might be different, but that doesn't make the person any less human or less important today. Hi. The next question is, will I ever get better? But I like to think about it, do I even want to get better? Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, everyone needs help doing something in their everyday life, no matter who you are, how old you are, or what your background is. So that's the easiest way to think about disability. If you broke your arm at school on the playground, you would probably need someone to help you write your name on your whole assignment, or you would need help picking up items because your arm is in a cast, or if you broke your leg and were in a wheelchair and your whole building was a two-story building, and you had an elevator. You couldn't walk up the stairs to get to the second floor of your whole building, could you? Well, that's okay, right? Because your school has an elevator to help those who can't get up to the next level, or sometimes your classmate might not know an answer to a math problem, but maybe you know the answer to the math problem. So understanding that everyone needs help at one point in their life is something that's very important. So will I get better? The answer is maybe one day the doctor and scientist will come out with a cure, but until then I have certain things that help me get better. I can go to a place called Cerebral Palsy, which is basically adapted athletics to help you build muscle and get better at moving. Kind of like you might do if you were on a football team or a soccer team. Maybe you go to your school athletic trainer because you want to be the best football player on your school team. So I can do that too, but I basically go to the athletic trainer to maintain my ability to live my everyday life. I also can use adaptive mobility equipment like my wheelchair or my walker, or even cool things like an adaptive bike or an adaptive bike where I can do adaptive horseback riding. All those things allow me to do things that you would like to do as an able-bodied person, but with help. And then we have some people who are helpful, and you might know helpful as some people who help your classmates in the classroom. Maybe they are a teacher aide that helps the teacher with a certain student, but we also have helpful in our everyday life when we have become adults, and those people can help you the bathroom, the reclining, go to the library, walk or dog, make your favorite meal. But the important thing to realize is even though there might not be a cure for cerebral palsy right now, everybody is going to need help everybody is going to need help in their life at some point. So it's important to realize that whether we want help or not, it's always going to be up to the person you meet. Whether it is available or not, it's okay. So let's say you want to go with ice cream, or you want to go hang out with a friend at a park, or maybe you're trying to meet the teacher night at your school. How would you move? How would you get there? Well, there are lots of ways for people to get transported around their community, right? You can ask your parents to take you in the car. You can take the school bus to the school every day. Some people are old enough to use a skateboard to get to the park or local convenience store. Maybe you go on bike ride with your best friends around your neighborhood, or sometimes some people might even take the train. but can anyone tell me what form of transportation you don't recognize on this map? I want you to pause the video and think about it for a second. What is the odd one out in the transportation? If you answered wheelchair, you are correct. So the next question is, why do I use a wheelchair? Well, let me tell you something. It's not because I can't walk. I actually can walk, but walking takes a lot of energy for me. It is also a little bit dangerous for me, depending on if I have someone to supervise me to make sure I don't fall. But given the fact that walking is very tiring for me and I might need a little extra assistance when I am walking on my own 2 feet, I prefer to use one of my favorite forms of transportation, my wheelchair. And my wheelchair allows me to go to work, see my hands, go out to see my favorite pop music, or at a hospital, make YouTube videos, pet my dog, walk my dog, moment hockey or a dirty soda independently, go shopping for my favorite new school outfit, and all sorts of things. So in the short answer is, I don't use a wheelchair because I can't walk. I use a wheelchair to make my life easier, and I use my wheelchair as my favorite form of transportation. This way, you might use a car, bus, skateboard, bike, or train. The next question is, do I need help? And the short answer is, well, it depends on what I'm doing that day. Sometimes I need help, sometimes I don't, and needing help is completely okay. Like I said earlier in the video, everyone needs help doing something, but it depends on what you need help with. So some of the things I need help with is driving, bathroom, shopping, and even writing on things like the whiteboard. Some things that I maybe will need help with, depending on what I'm doing or how someone might be able to make it easier. You need to adapt the equipment I talked to you earlier about the video game, cooking, cleaning, but something I can definitely do on my own or edit YouTube videos, make my morning coffee, drawing on my iPad, reading, and making TikTok content for. So it is important to remember that everyone needs help at some point in their life or doing some activity. So always ask somebody with a disability if they need help before doing something for them, because we might supply you and we might be able to do something independently, even if the way we do something is a little bit different than the way you are usually seeing it being done. So yeah, sometimes someone with a disability might need help, but if we say no, don't take offense to it, because we might do it a little bit differently than you are used to.